See, this how bullshit gets started. I just want y'all to know. I'm finna be cursing. Alright? What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, season 13, episode 14. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Y'all make sure you like my videos so I can stay in the algorithm. Okay. First of all, this episode was thoroughly entertaining, but a couple of people gonna get some shout outs tonight. All right, that's gonna be my new word. If I remember, these hoes about to get some shout outs tonight. All right, so the episode starts with Mama D. You know, she's telling the ladies. It picks back up with Mama D telling the ladies that Sierra told her, you know, what had happened. Brittany said, if it's credible, then where are the receipts? Which is a valid question. So the ladies want to call Sierra. Over with Zane, Scrappy, and 24. Zane is telling 24, I just need 5 minutes of your time. And 24 is telling him and Scrappy, I do not want to talk to y'all. 24 knows his limit. And I think what they're not understanding, I'm not trying to hear nothing you're saying. So if you know me, you know to get the entire cup out of my face. Period. So 24 tells them, you know, I know me again, and I can talk to y'all when I'm calm, because at this point, I think them egging him on and constantly pushing the issue, it was almost like they were antagonizing him even further, and he just wasn't for it. And I wish they would have respected his space and respected his requests. Like, I don't understand. If somebody is mad, I need y'all to stop talking to people. If they say, do not talk to me with the clap, leave them what we call the buckle. Okay. Anyway, so Carly called Sierra, and they asked Sierra about the situation. So this whole get on the phone and on FaceTime and get to stuttering and mumbling, talking about, I don't know. You absolutely know. You was the one who told Mama D. You was standing right there. You knew. You heard all of this. And instead of you taking your raggedy ass and going having a conversation with Selma, because you don't know her like that, you decided to tell Mama D so you can take the blame off of you. But we can't even blame you. This goes between Selma, if she did it, and that raggedy ass man. Because at the end of the day, that's Selma's husband. Your brother-in-law ain't shit. He just trying to get a moment. And that's just how I feel. So Carla was like, yes or no? Did he sleep with Selma? Mama D took the phone. Mama T snatched the phone from Carla and was like, don't be scary, Sierra. Don't be scary. Yeah, because you sitting there being scary. Say what you said. If you say you said it, then stand in it. Anyway, Mama D said in her confessional, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? You had said all of that shit at the palace when we was cooking and doing our Sierra Eats Black Girl seasoning powder event. Girl. And now you want backpedal. She ain't say all of that, boy. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, Carly asked Sierra again, and Spice took the phone from Carly and was like, girl, are you lying? Are you lying, or are you being honest? They tell her how mad 24 is actually getting right now. And again, he is mad, but with Zane and Scrappy constantly in his face trying to have a conversation, that is pissing him off even further. So Sierra admits to telling Mama D because she knows 24 and Selma more. And again, you could have called this lady and had a conversation with this lady. You could have met up with her just to get to know her and let her know whatever you heard. Anyway, Carly and Spice, they called, and Sierra, they still on the phone. They call Zay. Zay is with his brother. They asked him, hey, did you sleep with Selma? Well, he he admitted to sleeping with Selma. They was like, okay, how long ago was it? Was it yesterday? Was it, was it recent? He said, yes, it was recent. And I'm looking at him like, I don't even want to believe it. I feel like Selma did entertain him, but I think it was just talk. I think there was some talk that probably shouldn't have never happened. But again, I can't say anything. I was not there. Okay. So Carly calls Selma. Selma's with everybody else and tells her 24 is mad. She tells her that 24 pressure is either, I think she said it was high or low. And so now you have Selma thinking that her husband is having a health scare. And because she has dealt with a health scare with 24, she's, her anxiety is up a little bit. So 24 asked both Scrappy and Zane which one of y'all knew. Did y'all know? So at first it was like, well, nah, but then Zane was like, I saw the text messages. So 24 asked Zane, why didn't you just tell me? And so at this point, 24 is really pissed off at Zane because him having all of this information and he been knowing for a little while and you still ain't tell him. But what you did was told everybody else with your bitch ass. You definitely was another one that gave this legs. So you're responsible too. But again, we gonna hold responsibility where it goes. And if Selma did fuck that boy, you're totally responsible. You're totally responsible. Cause you gonna go ahead and sleep with an irresponsible, raggedy ass fuck boy. Okay, girl. At this point, they still trying to talk to him. So because it's so much energy, everybody's energy is high at the point. So Scrappy shoved Zane, and Zane was like, don't touch me. So he getting mad, he's heated, and then Scrappy pushed him again, and before Zane tried to swing, security just came in and scooped him right up out. He ain't shit. So 24, Selma arrives. 24, she was like, what's going on? He was like, oh, nothing, we good. No, you're not. But he was like, I just want to talk to my wife. And so, no, I'm sorry, I'm lying. 24 explains to Scrappy how Selma has always been down for him. He said breaking up a relationship is the one thing that two people should not do. So he don't believe in breaking up, which further lets I don't know. I feel like he knows something. I don't know. Anyway, Selma arrives back and she was like, hey, what's going on? They said this was happening to you. And he was like, no, I'm good. Everything is all good. And he said, we gonna talk. So at this point, everybody in the other van know what's happening because Carly had told everybody what happened. And Jock at this point mouth flew wide open because he had no idea any of this was happening. Nobody knew. So everybody gets to the strip club. They had a little, the lady was dancing or whatever. They was throwing the money. But then the ladies sat down and they started talking. Then they all started to talk about Ashley. So Jock was like, let the record show. I don't want to hear them gossip. I just want to make it rain while doing my charitable donation, doing my charitable duties for the strippers. Okay? I need to figure out how they gonna feed their family. Okay? That's the type of time Jock was on. So Carly lets everybody know she's getting ready to leave. She had to leave the strip club because she had to go in the morning. She had to go to London. I guess she had to fly out to London the next day. And this just her and Carly, as I look at them in a strip club, looking at them with the girls, they just, to me, is lame as fuck. There's just a quick note that I need y'all to see how lame Carly and Spice is, right? So she get in her confessional talking about stop your mother. Girl, this bitch is lame. This hoe is lame, y'all. I cannot stand Spice. I cannot stand Spice. Anyway, over in Atlanta, Sierra claims she was in a good place. Bam tell everybody about the conversation, she had between Mama D, because it was, what's her name? It was Sierra, her raggedy ass husband, Bam, and the Frost. And I want to say I think that was it. So Sierra is telling everybody else once again about Selma and her brother-in-law. So you gonna sit here once again and tell these people everything you denied to Mama D. And that's why Mama D is pissed off at you. Sierra tells them Mama D blurted it out in front of everybody. That's because you wanted Mama D to blurt this shit out to everybody. You told her on purpose because you knew she was going to do the most. You knew she was going to carry her ass to Puerto Rico and tell them what was happening because you bitched up and you couldn't tell her because you have an alliance and an allegiance to your raggedy ass husband and his double raggedy ass brother. So for me, I do not like Sierra. I do not. I never did. I just tolerated her. But you really gave this shit legs. You and your husband. If we're gonna, all of y'all are to blame in this. So we gonna place blame everywhere it go. Everybody talking about the Selma is the only one that needs to be accountable. No, all of y'all need to be accountable. Every last one of y'all, bitches. Anyway. Sierra then proceeds to tell them that Selma Snapchat her brother-in-law. Once again, you are running your mouth instead of talking to the person. You're running your mouth, and then when somebody asks you about it, you didn't want to backpedal. Sierra, if you was next to me, I would take your lips and grip them, and I would slang you by your lips. I don't like her. Okay, I don't like her. You doing all of this deflecting what's going on in your relationship. Because which one is this? Husband number 3, number 4? That's this one. I feel like because this one's going to leave. He's going to leave. But I feel like when this one leave, he gonna take all your shit from you. Raggedy hoe. Anyway, Kirk and Rashida, they just happy that it ain't them. Kirk said when women find out their friends are cheating, she will be praised. Sierra said no, that's because they cheat because you probably fat with a small private. Once again, why are you shitting on these people? What is going on in your relationship? You know what? I'm not even gonna do it. Girl. Anyway, Sierra asked Bambi, did she see, again, her and Bambi met up the next day. You're on the internet and you asked Bambi, did you see the things about Yandy and Mendices? And then your fuck ass proceeds to say, but I don't get in between people marriages. I said, this bitch, you need your ass whooped. I really want you to know that you need your ass whooped. Okay? So then she says she respects Rashida and Kurt. No matter how far they go, they still come back to each other. That explains everything about you. That explains everything about your messy ass typeface. You sat here and spread all of these people tea, and then it baffles me how you have respect for this subset group of people who marriage has been a sham since day one. That's all what we've seen on TV. Again, that explains a lot about you and the niggas that you pick. But we seen your pick of the litter. We seen the raggedy ass niggas that you go for. You are what I call low vibrational. I don't care how much ghetto girl seasoning that you create. I don't give a damn how much you can cook. You are a low vibrational, not a girl's girl type of woman. No wonder you've been with the same type of nigga, because you sound stupid as fuck with your on the spectrum ass. I don't like Sierra. This has really proven. This episode has really proven how much I do not like this illiterate. Sorry. So, Kirk and Rashida, they have a photo session. At this point, they want us to know that they all lovey-dovey and they fucking, and we don't care. We don't care about them. So, Mama D set her raggedy ass on that beach or wherever in front of her room and said she is appalled that everybody is mad at her, but then proceeds to say, but I don't give a fuck. And I'm looking at Mama D and I'm looking at her like, you don't give a fuck because you are a miserable ass old hoe. You don't mind, Mama D doesn't mind causing chaos and confusion under the guise of keeping it real. Like, you talking about somebody who old and low vibrational. Mama D. Don't never send anybody to me like that. Okay? That is a prayer that I have. So then the next morning, the same morning, Zane finds Jock and talk with Jock on the beach. He's mad because of the way Scrappy came at him. And if I'm going to keep it a buck, Scrappy been wanting to put hands on you because you run your mouth too much. And that's the only reason Scrappy been wanting to put hands on you. You talk too much. And you telling Jock, what is Jock gonna do? He don't with you or your wife. But that's crazy because we don't really with Scrappy either. Like, anyway, so we get a montage of Zane getting into it with everybody. But him and his wife getting into it with everybody. Like, they are problematic, but so are you and your wife. You want us to get on here and feel sorry for y'all, but we don't. Y'all really need to go. So, Jock want to know, why is everybody so quick to tell 24 what has happened? And here Jock goes with the protecting of the raggedy niggas. And it's not even to protect 24. It's not even to protect Selma. It's to protect the nigga who ran his mouth. Like, again, I would like to be on Jock's side. I hear what he's saying. But my nigga, you can't be trusted. So that's why I can't take nothing Jock say serious. Anyway, Mama D have a chit chat with Brittany. And once again, Mama D in her audacity. Okay? She said she didn't know 24 was gonna act like that. Deborah, how did you think he was gonna act? What, you thought he was gonna give you a hug and say thank you so much, Mama D? Oh, wise Deborah. What you thought he was gonna say, pimpstress? Okay, so she said things went real fast, real left. This lady dumb as fuck. Anyway, Mama D said, even though she let the cat out the bag, everybody should own their own shit. Which means, and Brittany sits there and co-sign. But Brittany, I need to let you know, you need to be reminded that the nigga you fucking, that's his mama. So the same thing she did to the rest of those women, she's going to do that to you unless she's really changed. And something tells me that she has not changed and she's not going to change. So while you sitting here co-signing, make sure you have a co-signer for you in another year or two. Period. So, I felt like when Mama D said that, because y'all know Mama D is male identified, Mama D was talking about Selma. She wasn't talking about nobody else but Selma. Like, but I get it. Selma, you was the one that held the, that had the vows, but nobody know if it's true or not. Everybody just keep going off of this rumor. Anyway, this old hoe took her rusty, crusty lips and said, I don't know why everybody mad at me for letting the cat out the bag when I wasn't the one that opened my legs and let the cat out another way. Sorry. That shit was funny. So, Zane tells Jock more details of the situation. And I'm looking at Benjamin Buttons like, why do you have that grill in your mouth? You look stupid. Not only do you look stupid as fuck. Okay? So, everybody gets together and they start to explain last night. All right, they all go to the winery, distillery, except for 24 Zelma, Scrappy, and Brittany. They all stayed at their prospective places. And Raggedy Ass Spice is gone. Okay? So Jock feels like the man should the man who told, which was the brother-in-law, he should not have ran his mouth. Rennie felt like Selma shouldn't have cheated. And I agree. She shouldn't have. If she had, she should not have. Carly tells everybody she calls Zay's brother and he confessed to sleeping with Selma. Once again, another one. Everybody is making this more than what it is. And what's so fucked up about it is Carly was saying that that Selma in 24 was her friends. But as soon as you got a moment to tell other people, you threw that shit out there instead of keeping it to yourself. They didn't even have to know. It didn't have to come from you. You could have went and told them. But you didn't mind putting it on TV and you didn't mind giving it legs as well. So as far as I'm concerned, all of y'all hold some type of responsibility in the way this shit should have been delivered. Anyway, Mendices ain't my favorite person. But I wish he would have yoked Zane up. Ashley and Zane can go. Because they then, at this point, started to get on my nerves. They started getting on my nerves in the building. And they started getting on my nerves out the building. So Rennie says, nobody wants to talk about the cheater because they are all cheaters. Every last one of them. Anyway, at this point, as I stated, Zane and his wife, they have worked on my entire nerves this entire trip because they do too much, right? This is where the episode ended, and next week is the season finale. Y'all have thoroughly entertained me. I am going to give y'all my feedback next week. If you have not, on your way out, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and that is all I got. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.